Welcome back to Opinion Journal. I'm Mary Kissel. We don't hear much about this in the United States, but in the United Kingdom, there's a great debate raging about whether or not Scotland is going to leave the UK. Is it possible? Is it a good idea? I've got journalist Melanie Phillips here in town from London. Melanie, so what's wrong with Britain? Why would the Scots want to leave it?
You may well ask. Look, the United Kingdom is this wonderful combination of nations. It's a nation composed of nations, England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, all wonderfully spliced together under the head of state, who's the Queen, and ruled by a Prime Minister and Parliament in London, England. Now, the Scots have a very strong sense of themselves, a proud sense of themselves as an ancient nation. They're entitled to have that. This sense of themselves is fueled by the fact they have separate system of law, education, health, separates them from England. But the other thing is they really, really resent and loathe the English. For these reasons, first of all, England runs the United Kingdom. They don't like that. Second, they are run from London, England, a long way away from Scotland. They don't like that. But the real crime of England is that it's run by the English. And the Scots really hate the English. Why do they hate the English? Because they think the English are conservatives. And what the Scots hate more than anything else in the world is conservatives.
Wow, it's like being in Manhattan. Melanie, there have been a lot of promises made by the Scottish National Party.
Yes.
For example, saying, we'll keep the pound, we'll join
Indeed.
the EU, everything will be fine. Is that actually the case?
One or two little glitches have arrived in the last few days. Alex Salmond, who is the leader of the Scottish Nationalist Party, a formidable strategist, tactician, wonderfully charismatic personality. He's carrying Scottish independence on his back, as it were. He has promised, we're going to keep the pound. They hate England, but they love the Bank of England so much, they want to keep the pound, and they want to be a member of the EU. Two little spokes in the wheel in the last few days. The Treasury in London said, you think you're going to keep the pound? Think again. You want independence? Great. You won't have the pound. And secondly, the EU has said, you think you're just going to join the EU as a small nation? Think again. We are beset by small nations wanting to join the EU. We're not actually very sure that we'll want you.
Now, about 30 seconds left. What do the polls say? Are Scots getting on board given this new information?
They fluctuate, but I would be very surprised if at the end of the day the Scots will vote for independence. It's a fantasy. It's a romantic fantasy. It's fueled by fantasy, by resentment, by all kinds of issues. But at the end of the day, the Scots are going to feel their pocketbook, and if they think they're going to be worse off, that's what it all boils down to. And I think they're going to think we're going to be worse off. They won't do it. What do I know?
Okay. Well, you heard it here first. They're not going to do it. Journalist and author Melanie Phillips, thank you so much for joining us.